Welcome to Music Technology at the University of West London. Today we have myself, Natalie Hyde, and my colleague Amy Fenton, and we both work for the recruitment team at the university. We also have John Gummery, who is the Head of Subject for Music Technology and Management, who you'll hear from very soon. Thanks for joining us today. There's a big group of you online, so we look forward to talking to you and answering your questions. Today's webinar is geared towards undergraduate study at UWL. Some of you online will be holding offices to come and study with us in September, and others won't yet have applied or may be thinking about studying with us in future years. Either way, today's webinar will be relevant to you. Let's have a look at what we're going to cover in today's session. To start, we'll tell you a bit about the university and what makes us special. I'll then pass you over to John to guide us through our music technology courses. Finally, we'll be ready to take any questions you have, but do feel free to ask them as we go through too, and we'll aim to respond to each of you as quickly as possible. We have Amy Fenton from the UK Student Recruitment Team and Mona Patel from the International Office here taking your questions. The University of West London is a vibrant, modern university with a reputation for high-quality education closely linked to employment. We aim to inspire our students to become innovative professionals ready to challenge accepted norms and boundaries in order to carve out exciting and rewarding careers. We have the best student graduate employment rate in London, with 95% of students in full-time work or further study within 6 months of graduation and earning the highest salaries from any modern London university. Everything we do is designed to equip you with both the academic knowledge and practical skills to succeed in your chosen career. That's why we're the career university. The university itself is structured into 8 specialist schools, each of which has its own unique character and reputation in industry. In terms of our student body, we have around 11,000 students, roughly 15% of which are international students from all over the world. That may sound like a lot of students, but our typical lecture size is only around 28 students. Though it varies, and we do have large lectures too, seminars are typically made up of around 18 students and workshops of around 14 students. This enabled us to really focus on our students as individuals. And this approach seems to work, as we were recently voted as best in London for student satisfaction and the best students' union in London in the annual National Student Satisfaction Survey. The university has recently undergone a £100 million campus investment to ensure our students have access to state-of-the-art learning and social facilities. If you're not familiar with our location, our West London campuses in Ealing and Brentford are located in 2 of the most desirable places to live in the capital. Both towns combine a vibrant, cosmopolitan atmosphere with spacious parks and a relaxed cafe culture. The area is safe, beautiful, multicultural and close to both London Heathrow Airport and the centre of London, which you can reach in under 30 minutes by tube. I'm now going to hand over to my colleague John to tell you about music technology at UWL.
Hello. Let me just show my screen. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. And there I am as well. Good. Okay. Welcome to our talk about music technology at London College of Music. As has been mentioned, we're based in West London, and that we have 2 campuses, with most of our music technology delivered at the St Mary's Road campus. We have very good statistics for employability within London College of Music, with 96% of students employed or in further education after 6 months. And we have one of the best, but we're doing very well for student satisfaction, and one of the best modern universities in the NSS. Also, some of the highest starting salaries for graduates from modern universities in London. And in the last 2 years, we've seen over £100 million of investment in our campus. And some of that was in our recording studios and other facilities for performance and recording within London College of Music. and as Natalie mentioned as well, one of the best student unions in London. This is our Ealing campus. As I say, we have, this is where we do most of the teaching for our music technology courses and where some of our studio facilities are based. We also have our Brentford campus, where our halls of residence are, and where our Paragon Annex studios that house 7 recording studios and 3 live rooms. The halls of residence are based next to that, and it is an important aspect if you're studying at university to be on campus as much as you can to make use of the opportunities and facilities to get involved in productions, concerts, recordings, rather than travelling long distances to get in and out every day. London College of Music has a long history, and this year we're celebrating 130 years since our origin, and we've been part of the university here since 1992. We have a proud heritage. We're proud of that, but it doesn't hold us back. We're committed to a modern, contemporary curriculum and a conservatoire education based within a university setting. Some of you might be aware of London College of Music through LCM exams. If you've ever studied piano or guitar or violin, you might have taken some of our graded exams, as many people do around the world, and also the Registry of Guitar Tutors are part of that. Our main business, though, here is undergraduate, postgraduate, and more so these days PhD study in the field. The main areas within London College of Music obviously is music technology, which we will go into more depth around that and the courses and facilities that support that. But we also have music management, both at undergraduate and postgraduate level. We have performance and composition, and we have musicians here studying jazz, classical and pop styles. This is an important factor for us in music technology, as we have access to many great musicians to come and record. The musicians can't book the recording studios. The music technology students can, and so the musicians are looking to find producers and engineers to record them, and music tech students are looking for musicians they can produce. So it's a very good connection and lots of very positive collaborations there. Another aspect of London College of Music is its performing arts, predominantly musical theatre and acting. And again, there's lots of crossovers here between music technology in doing live sound for many of our productions, for doing sound design for plays and productions, and for actors to do dialogue replacement work on the audio post-production courses. And there's a very strong community within LCM, both formally within courses where students have to collaborate, and both informally as well. So there's a rock choir, a jazz choir, a chamber choir, there's a jazz big band, there's an orchestra, and if you play in a group, your group can take part in some of the pop gigs and open mic nights. So there's lots of opportunities to get involved in music in many ways while studying with us. We run a very busy schedule of concerts and events throughout the year, with several events happening every week in our venues. So we will have regular pop gigs, we'll have jazz, classical concerts, and, as I was saying, musical theatre productions and plays being put on. So there's always lots of events to get involved with, but attending or technically involved in running the productions. Because of our long history, we have a long list of famous alumni here, and also people from industry who we honour with awards to recognise their contribution to music, and this also involves them doing masterclasses and being involved in some of the teaching here at the university. And we're very proud to work with a growing list of musicians and performers. We also have many industry partners that we work with, and they support us in many ways. In some ways through giving students discounts on buying equipment, but also in offering bursaries, prizes, and work placement opportunities for our students. And this is from right across the music spectrum. And we're also very proud of being a Steinway school. So all of our pianos, currently we have around 34 pianos on campus, and they'll all be Steinway pianos. So wherever you are recording or performing, you'll be working with one of the best pianos in the world. So let's have a look at our courses in a bit more detail. And if you're applying to study music technology, you'll see we have several different flavors of music technology advertised on our website, and probably the flagship course for many years has been the Music Technology Specialist course. And this is a course that combines many aspects of music technology, from studio recording to computer-based desktop music production, through to sound design, sound for picture, and live sound and location recording, as well as music business modules. And if you want to study a broad range of music technology subjects, then that is certainly a recommended course. But we noticed in recent years that many of our students were following niche routes, and that we brought online 4 extra courses that were more focused on these specific areas. The new courses all share the same first year as the Music Technology Specialist course, allowing students to change course at the end of their first year. So the first one of these new courses is Music Recording and Production, very much aimed at a student who wants to be a music producer, who is very much in control of the recording studio, but can also communicate effectively with musicians, to take control of directing the musicians, changing the arrangement of the music. Is it in the right key for the singer? Does the middle 8 need to be longer? Does this song need to be moved from the genre it's in into a different genre to be more up to date? So it would suit somebody who is a reasonable musician, who can communicate quite effectively with musicians. BA Honours Music Mixing and Mastering is the next part of the process after the songs have been recorded, is then remixing them, and this is less about working with the musicians and more about working more independently in the studio, taking multi-tracks and remixing and repurposing songs that have been recorded in the past and moving them on again into a different genre. And also that process of mastering, which is finally tuning the stereo mixes before release, and listening for the very fine small details in the music that needs adjusting and tweaking. One of our other courses is Electronic Music Production. This is probably our geekiest course, very much aimed at people who want to spend a lot of time working with their computers. Some of it will be focused on electronic dance music production, but it'll also get into areas of sound design and electronic audio installation work, and we'll focus on languages like Max MSP and C++ and other processes, where many students will be producing and making sound with computers that have never been heard before. And in this suite of courses, the last one is Music Technology Audio Post-Production. London is recognised as a centre for the audio post-production industry, producing sound for film, computer games, television, talking books, and a lot of work in that area. When you go to see a film in the cinema, very little of the sound you hear is the sound recorded when they filmed the pictures. It's been added afterwards. So all the dialogue has been replaced, every footstep, movement, bit of Foley, all the atmospheres and sound effects have been done in post-production. And this course will cover the whole range from location recording, standing in the rain with a boom microphone, trying to keep the microphone out of the shot of the camera, all the way through to sound design for spaceships and dinosaurs and things that don't exist in the real world, and you have to imagine what they sound like. Allied to music technology is our live sound area, and so we have a very popular BA live sound production course. This shares some similar modules to music technology. These students will do studio recording and they will do location recording, but they will focus very much on operating live PA systems and running gigs. And the big thing here for anybody considering this course is, are you happy to work in a live environment where there'll be a lot of adrenaline involved because it is a live production? Unlike the studio where you can stop and have a break and have a cup of coffee and come back and try again, with a live show, once the show's up, you can't stop. And so some people find that exciting and enjoy that. Other people find that quite scary. So if that's the course for you, that's an important course for us. And because of all the opportunities for live concerts, plays, jazz big band, musical theatre and other productions, there's lots of live sound work to practice. However, if you're a musician and want to pursue being a better musician, a better songwriter, and combine that with recording, we have BMUS Music Performance Recording, which is our main pop music course aimed at contemporary musician who wants to become a better musician, have one-to-one tuition each week on their main instrument, to play in groups and ensembles each week, but also go through a range of recording modules to become so they can record and produce their own demos. Allied to that, we have a sister course, Composition and Recording, similar area, but aimed more at contemporary composers that also want to learn how to record their music. And another popular area that kind of holds all of this together is music management, and students who want to study that and want to work with our musicians and performers and help run events. Last year we offered all of our courses now with a foundation year, and so they're available as a 4-year course, and if you feel your music technology skills aren't quite up to it, or if your music performance skills aren't quite up to the starting the normal degree course, you can do an extra foundation year to help prepare you for those. So what are our courses all about? So most of our courses are BA courses, so they are creative arts. So it is very much about the creative work that you do and demonstrating that your production and recording skills. So in many cases you have a chance to sort of demonstrate what you can achieve in that area, and we're expecting our students to be producing contemporary style recordings, the sort of thing you would expect to see as normal releases. It's not a BSc, it's not a science course, but in the first year we certainly have a science-based module understanding the theory of sound, the theory of acoustics, the theory of how the sound gets from the microphone into the computer. Being able to understand the acoustics of a room will help you better understand where to put the microphone, what kind of microphone to use, and things like that. And so you'll be able to use the tools better if you understand the basics of how they're working. We'll also cover many transferable skills on the course. There will inevitably be some group working, learning to work with others, working with other media like video and radio, and very much time management skills. Producing work in this area is not something you can stay up the night before and cram for an exam or anything like that. It's about planning your time over several weeks to put together a production and keeping that production on track to deliver at the end of the semester. Of course, they're also about understanding industry practices, understanding how the industry works, understanding the different roles within the industry, the list of names that come up on the credits at the end of a movie. What does the supervising sound editor do? What does the Foley artist do? What does the front of house engineer do? What does the monitor engineer do? What does the arranger do? What does the producer do? Understanding these roles through working with our staff, many of whom work freelance in the industry as well, doing these things. And it's also understanding copyrights and royalties and income streams, and how people get paid for composing the music or recording the music or arranging the music within a film or in a music release. Also, we recognise that building a portfolio of work is very important for you. Leaving university with a piece of paper that says you have a first-class degree is great, but what people want to see is what can you do. They want to hear your work. So many of your assignments will be things that can fit into your portfolio to demonstrate your abilities. So over the 3 years you're with us, you'll be putting together, building up this large portfolio of work. And finally, networking. Your time at university is a key time to develop contacts both within the university and outside. Many of these contacts will be people that you will carry on working with when you leave here. One of our honorees here is the composer David Arnold, who some of you might know for composing the music for 5 James Bond movies and many television productions, and a long history of film music production. And he told us about his time at college working with his friend who was making short films at college, and he would always do some music for his friend's short films. And when they left college, the first professional gig his friend got to make a commercial video, he asked David Arnold to do the music for it. So whilst you're at university, getting to know musicians, producing them, getting to know managers and others, and getting to know songwriters, and building up a network of contacts, these will be important people that you'll be able to work with when you leave university. So what about our entry requirements? So typically we're looking for 112 to 128 UCAS points. So on a BTEC course, that's overall merit and distinctions. For A-levels, that's 3 good A-levels, or international equivalents. We also in the UK expect students to have English and Maths GCSE at grade C or above. And we will ask for a portfolio and an interview for some. If you are studying a music technology course, either A-level or BTEC course, we don't need to see a portfolio because we know the curriculum you're studying. However, if you're studying history and sports science, then we'll ask, well, where's the music technology? And I know that not everybody can study music technology at school and college. It's not maybe one of the options available to you, but it's a hobby for you. You have a band, you've got a computer at home, you make and compose your own music. So and a portfolio would be typically 4 or 5 tracks that you've been involved with recording and creating, and maybe you're hosting them on a SoundCloud page, and you can send us a link to those and tell us a bit about the software you use to create them and how they were put together. Anyone wanting to do performance and recording with us, then for the performance courses you need to be playing your instrument at grade 6 to 8 standard. We know not everybody will have studied grades if you're studying contemporary instruments, in which case we'll ask you in for an audition to see if you're playing at these kind of levels. We also expect grade 5 theory, and again we know many of our pop musicians struggle with grade 5 theory, and so it's very much built into the first year of the course that by the end of the first year you will have achieved grade 5 theory. Because as you go on to the second and third year there, you'll be doing composition and arranging modules, you'll be arranging music for other musicians to play, so you need to understand how to present the music to other musicians to get them to to play it. Personal statement. I know many people find it difficult writing about themselves and what to say, and there's lots of different advice out there about writing your personal statement, and it depends what kind of courses you're applying for. But coming to London College of Music, then really it is all about your musical history. So we want to know what instruments you have played and how you've been involved with music. Are you in a band? Are you writing songs? What experience you have of using software, making music with a computer? Did you start off using Fruity Loops and then move on to Cubase? Maybe now you're using Logic. Maybe you've been involved in running events at school and college, organising the PA system or putting on shows, that kind of thing. Or maybe you've had some relevant work experience in studios, at venues or in music shops. So tell us all about your musical history and what you've been doing. And if you're coming to study performance with us, be clear about what instrument you want to study. And we will sometimes see a student who has grade 8 on piano, but actually they want to come here and study vocals. So we need to organise an audition for you if that's a different instrument to what you've previously studied. So what about our facilities? So we have studios, 3 main locations, Vestry Hall, Paragon and the Ealing campus. Vestry Hall is a large Victorian building. The hall has a high vaulted ceiling, a sprung wooden floor, room for about 60 musicians in it and about 3 seconds of reverb, so a very live ambient space. And it's attached to 3 studios and a band room as well. Our Paragon annex that we opened last year has 7 studios and 3 live rooms. The live rooms are shared between some of the studios, and some of the studios are available 24/7, so 2nd and 3rd year students can do overnight sessions there. And at the main Ealing campus we have 4 studios, all with live rooms. At the Ealing campus we also have a media resource desk where students can check out equipment, and they can have it for an overnight loan or for a weekend loan, and they can take it off-site. This is location recording equipment, microphones, mixing desks, keyboards, guitars, video cameras, another wide range of kit. And it's also where, when you book studios, you would go to the media resource desk to take out the microphones and headphones and equipment you need for your recording sessions. For some of the recording sessions, this might even involve different sets of cymbals or different snare drums for our studio kits to get a different sound depending on the style of music you're recording. We also have a room that we use for our pop rehearsals that also has a PA system where we do some of our PA teaching, and some of our live sound students are involved with mixing the sound for the pop students during their rehearsal sessions. To avoid teaching in our studios, we have 5 teaching studios, so a classroom where we can house 20 students, but we'll have the same mixing desk and outboard and monitors that you'll find in the studios, small enough that we can do some hands-on practical sessions there without booking out lots of time in the studios. And we have venues like Lawrence Hall and Weston Hall, which I'll mention again in a bit. So a quick slideshow around some of our studios. Basement 1 at St Mary's Road. In all our recording studios, our main desk is an Audient ASP console, a very robust, reliable analog desk. Good sound, good mic preamps on it. But we also have quite an extensive range of hardware outboard as well as software plugins. And a particular feature of our studios is Focusrite RedNet audio interfaces to get the audio in and out of the computer. All the RedNet devices have an Ethernet connection on the back, and so all the studios are networked over our own Ethernet system, so we can link audio between any of our studios and any of our venues. Studio 2 has 2 live rooms, one for a band and a vocal room attached to it. Studio 3, again, the audience console with the control surface in the center for controlling DAWs. All our studios run Pro Tools and Logic, and they can be controlled from the control surface in the center of the desk. Our live rooms come equipped with Steinway pianos, either an upright or a baby grand, a range of guitar and bass amplifiers, and studio drum kits. And like I say, you can also hire out different snare drums and cymbal sets to go with those. We have 2 Mac labs that are open access as well as used for teaching. They run all our software, so Logic and Pro Tools, Ableton, Sibelius, notation software, Max MSP, Reactor, a wide range of software. You just need to turn up with a memory stick and a set of headphones, and away you go. Our Paragon studios, Studio 1, again a large room with the audience console and extensive app board. And at the other end of the building, Studio 2, very similar setup. Studio 2 has 5.1 surround sound as well as stereo monitoring. But in between them we have a common live room with windows linking into both of the control rooms. The live room has been designed with different acoustic properties, and so depending on where you put the guitar amplifier or the drum kit in one corner or another, you'll get a different acoustic response. And it also has a Steinway Baby Grand piano in there. So this is a classic bright pop piano sound, so ideal for a lot of contemporary recording. We won't go through all the studios, but studios 4 and 5 have 16-channel audio consoles, but they also have modular synthesizers. So we have a range from Roland System 100s through to a VCS3 synth, which is a classic synth from the 1970s, which you would have heard used by bands like Pink Floyd and many others. Some of the other studios will be based around the Control 24 digital console, and again are good project studios for mixing. There's certainly space to do some overdubbing in the studio, and many of them are set up with both stereo and 5.1 surround sound. And live rooms 2 and 3 also are there for doing audio post-production work and have Foley traps built into the floor so that you have different surfaces for doing footsteps. And under the wooden panels at the back there, you'll find sand and gravel surfaces as well that you can use for recording footsteps. For our live sound students, they use industry standard desks like Digico's SD9, SD11 consoles, the sort of thing you'll find in a West End show. Here the concept is scene-based memories, where you set up the desk for scene 1 in a show, and then as the actors move off stage and another scene comes on stage, you just step through the scene memories. And so a large part of the technical rehearsal process is setting up the desk and programming the scenes for the shows. Also, we have access to a Neumann dummy head microphone for binaural recording. So if you want to capture a live event and hear it on headphones with all the spatial clues as if you were there, then this is the microphone to use for that. And our live sound students and our audio post-production students get to experiment with that. As a performing music college, our venues are very important to us, and the Lawrence Hall is very much the centre of what we do here. And almost every night of the week there will be events going on in here. So we have rate seating with seating for about 180 people that we can pull out, and we can build stages for pop gigs and for plays and productions. But we can also fold away the seating and have a standing audience when we have pop gigs, or we can put out circular tables for more like a jazz club gig. And this year, some of the final year music tech students have also been using it as a recording space and doing more traditional recording, setting up musicians all together in the room and recording them live in this space, as it has a very good acoustic for live recording. The Western Hall is a larger space that we have access to that seats over 200 people, and again we can set up a range of stages and productions in there throughout the year. Another aspect of the college is working with the university's radio station, Blast Radio. So the radio station is there for students studying radio, but it's also there for any students in the university as a student society. So a bit like joining the netball team or the football team, you can join the radio society. And so many of our music students have shows on the station and will be playing out on the internet, as well as getting bands to come in and do live lounge sessions, and taking a feed from some of our live gigs and mixing it down and broadcasting it through the radio station as a live broadcast. We have postgraduate study here. I mentioned at the start we do postgraduate and PhD study, and it's great having students here studying these subjects. There's all kinds of masterclasses, productions and events and things that they organise that our undergraduate students can be part of, and it informs very much our teaching and where we're going with the development of technology. So it's good to have access to them. Okay, I've come to the end of my section, and we'll see if we have any questions we can take. Does anybody have any questions for me? Okay. Okay, let's okay. Okay, so Nicole's asked a question. Is the popular music performance with music tech still running? Yes, I didn't list all of our courses, as we do have major minor combinations of music tech with popular music, or music tech with performance or composition, and they are still running. It's a slightly different course to music performance and recording, in that it has more music tech in it, so more computer-based music production, whereas performance and recording is more traditional recording of live musicians in the studio. So yes, it is still up and running. And Adam, can I find the list of software available? I think you will find on the LCM website at the university. If you click on facilities, you will see video tours of all our studios, and it lists on the video, it scrolls through the equipment, both the hardware and software that's available in the studios. But mainly it is Logic and Pro Tools on all our setups. Some of the labs have Ableton and Max MSP. All of the studios have Reactor as well in them. Emmanuel, you mentioned earlier about game audio and Max MSP, the music technology audio post-production, have any kind of computer programming like C, C++? Yes. The electronic music production course is the one that will do more of that. The programming. The audio post looks more at industry workflows and how a typical audio post house would put together its dialogue, its Foley, its music. And yes, they're producing music for games, but they would be producing more the Foley and sound effects for games, whereas the electronic music production students would be looking more at the composition of the music for the games. So if that was your interest, then the electronic music production course would certainly be the way to go there. Okay, Manos. Oh no, it's Cool Luke. I am a second year student studying music at University in Manchester. I find the course I'm having not something I want. I want to change my course to Music Technology, University of London. Do I need to write a personal statement? So we do take direct applicants to our second year and third year from students who study at other universities. You would need to complete the current year that you are on. And yes, you would apply to us through UCAS for entry to second or third year of our courses. So yes, you would do a personal statement and apply for that. Okay. Any other questions coming up from anybody? Do the courses start in September? Yes, they are all September courses. Some of the courses have year-long modules, so it's not possible to join the course halfway through. So there'll be, so yes, it would only be a September start, not a January start. Yes, if you were studying live sound. So this is Shivan. Yes, you could join our live sound production course in September. You don't say if have you completed the first year of your course? If you've completed the first year, then you could apply to join the second year of our course here. So that's definitely possible. Do we offer work placements? So yes, we have industry. We have a Streetwise Careers Fair running today, where 35 companies have come in looking to recruit students for work placements, part-time work, summer jobs. We have a very active careers department who works regularly with many organizations connected with music that students have got work placement through. We also have jobs within the university, so we have student technicians who work in our music tech department, help run the media resource center and so on. So all working as student ambassadors at events and things in the university. how busy is the schedule? Are there lots of classes? Is there more time to practice in the studios? The schedule, typically students are studying 3 modules in a semester, and your timetable would be spread across the week, maybe 3 or 4 days of lectures or times when you need to come in. Our studios are open 7 days a week, and we have an online booking system, so students will be booking in to use the studios. Like I say, the studios some of them are available overnight for 2nd and 3rd years, but for the 1st years it's certainly from 9 in the morning till 9 at night, so 12 hours each day. Okay. Students who have an HND qualification is a recognised level 5 qualification. We have the music technology top-up course, and it's a very popular course here where students who have studied elsewhere come and study their final year with us. So no, you don't have to start in the 1st year. You can join the final year if you've completed an HND or a foundation degree at other UK universities. What's the difference between music technology and electronic music and composition? So electronic music production is very much about using programs like Logic for producing electronic music, whereas music technology is more focused on traditional studio recording skills and using microphones, whereas a lot of electronic music is composed and produced inside the computer using synthesis and samples. Another aspect of the electronic music course is also understanding some of the history and around electronic music production and some of the seminal artists who work in that field. And it also has a couple of modules connected with live performance of electronic music, building and performing and interacting with electronics on stage. So that's sort of laptop type performances. Can I apply to the music technology courses even if I don't have a music background? So yes, many of the music technology courses can be approached from a technical aspect. You're obviously going to be working with music, and some understanding of music will help, but you don't have to have a music qualification or play an instrument to do many of the music technology courses. But you are going to be working with musicians and you have to communicate with them. So having a good rapport and an understanding of the kind of language you need to explain and communicate with musicians will certainly help. Okay. Okay, so I think we've run out of time now, so we'll have to wrap up. Certainly there's a lot more information on the LCM website. So if you go to the UWL website and look up colleges, and you'll find London College of Music, and you'll find a host of information there about our courses and our facilities and our staff who will be teaching you. And hopefully some of you might be able to get along to some of our open days in future, and we can see you here in Ealing. Okay, thank you very much.